Hi YouTube, Stone here again. Just a little catch up on last week in gaming and hobbies and stuff. On Thursday we didn't game, unfortunately, because well, our regular host, one of the players, was in hospital. I think he's out now. Some problems, so all the best, Dan. Hope you're feeling a lot better, mate. So we silly gamed around one of the other GM and players' flats over in Stevenage, and yeah, we had a good night. It was a game of A Touch of Evil from Flying Frog Productions, which I hadn't played yet, so I decided on playing that, and I really enjoyed it. And it's basically a well, yeah, it's kind of set in sort of, I don't know, sort of Renaissance era, maybe a bit later on than that. There's people like highwaywomen, soldiers, thespians, things like that, and the sort of the clothing that they're wearing, not, you know, is sort of yeah, sort of turn of the sort of 19th century, you know, sort of early 1800s, that sort of era, sort of England. And it's based around a town, and the outlying areas. There's 4 major outlying areas that you can investigate, and you sort of run around with your character. We played co-op, by the way. It can be versus, I believe, but we play co-op, so I don't know what the versus game is like. I prefer a co-op game. So yeah, you basically run your character around these different areas, and most of them you take a card or roll the dice to see what sort of event you get. You usually take a card related to the area, or another event like the abandoned castle or keep or something like that is one of them. I can't remember rightly. I don't have a copy of the game myself, so it's just, you know, just from memory. Yeah, so one of the abandoned keep, say, is one of the major areas in the one of the 4 corners of the map, and you can take a card specific to that location, and you know, it could be good or bad. Usually good, actually, we found. So you know, and you get to either encounter the event, or get an item to add to your equipment, or something like that. The main idea behind the game is there's a big bad evil lurking out there somewhere, and at random points it will sort of attack the characters, or one of the characters, or one of the town elders, which are different face cards which are laid out on the board. And I kind of learned how the game worked as I played. So basically we drew the big bad evil guy at the beginning. It turned out to be the werewolf, and they have like their own big evil guy card with information for how to run it. You know, if you get an event, it tells you what sort of monsters will come up on a roll of a die, or when it strikes, and how it fights and stuff like that. And the werewolf is quite evil, actually. So we basically ran around at the start of the game gathering resources and trying to get ourselves equipped for the inevitable big fight at the end. And I played a soldier, and I managed to get probably, I think it was, I had a powder keg as well, which I could light and throw at it. But I had about 13 or 14 dice to roll for my attack at the end, and so by the time the other characters got similarly equipped, we thought it's about time we took care of the evil guy. And you basically get to buy a lair card, which gives you an idea of where it might be, and what you do is gather the party up and all go to the location. I think we went to the crossroads and fought the werewolf there. Once you start the fight, you have to fight to the end or run away. We chose to fight to the end, and yeah, we ended up killing it, fortunately, in about 2 rounds of combat, because as we found, it's pretty hard to kill it. So we yeah, I rolled my 13 or 14 dice, whatever it was, and managed to get about 3-4 hits. Unfortunately, you need a 5 or a 6 to hit it. So I ended up doing that many rounds. I think we took 2 rounds of combat to kill it basically, and I think I did the killing blow in the end. I rolled 4 or 5, 6, 5 sixes I rolled on my second chance out of 8 dice. So I had pretty bad luck in the first hand and excellent luck in the last. That was without the powder keg, of course, because that was plus 6 dice to my roll. So just with my pistols and my natural combat rating, I managed to roll 5 sixes, and we finished it off. But yeah, so good game all in all. Probably took around about 2 hours to play, maybe a little less. It states that on the back of the box as well, so anything between an hour and 2 hours to play. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, so there you go, that's about an average length of game for you. We went pretty much straight on. This was about 10 o'clock time maybe in the evening. We went straight on to Castle Ravenloft, which is the new one from Wizard of the Coast, board game, sort of dungeon crawl. And we'd played Wrath of Ashardalon, which is the second game in their Wizards board game series, the most recent one. And I hadn't played, well, none of the players apart from the host had played Castle Ravenloft, and so we went in knowing quite a bit about the game already, same mechanics, so we all knew it. But we pulled out the one where you got to find the chapel. So basically you hide the chapel in the last sort of 9, 10, 11 cards. So those 3 cards, 9, 10 or 11, you shuffle them up, put them in the stack, the map stack, which is a stack of tiles for the map. And it's pretty good because it was quite quick actually. We finished by about 20 to 12, so about another hour and a half maybe. And by the time it was all set up, that is. And it was pretty cool because the Castle Ravenloft seems to have a lot less cards that make you draw from the bottom of the deck. For a quick game, you want to be drawing the top tiles off of the map deck to get down to 8, 9, 10 or 11 card and pull out the one you're looking for. But Wrath of Ashardalon has lots of things where you take from the bottom of the deck, and one of our games lasted nearly 4 hours, and it was only, it was in the 9, 10 or 11th card, but as we were pulling from the bottom of the deck, that was a long way, a long way to go, so the game lasted a very long time. So kind of in some ways they made the game a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to say worse, but certainly not a pick up and play game. You have to dedicate some time to it just in case bad stuff happens to you, like it inevitably does. But yeah, so Castle Ravenloft, brilliant. I think it was either because we played Wrath of Ashardalon and we, kind of knew how to play the game, and the power level seemed a bit weaker on the side of the monsters in Castle Ravenloft. Not that the heroes were any more powerful, but I do think there weren't the monsters coming out that really screwed the party over in terms of game length and survivability. Although some of the monsters are really, really hard, you only get like one of them on the board at a time. So we pulled out the chapel card eventually, and sure enough, we had some strokes of luck really, to be honest, because me and the cleric, I played the wizard. The cleric was with me over the other side of the board to where the chapel was, because the ranger and fighter found the chapel room. Complete opposite ends, pretty much opposite corners of the map. So fortunately, the cleric had found a teleporter card, and I just literally ran to him, and we teleported over there. I managed to nuke the room, and the fighters did their jobs as well by holding them up. I had lots of AoE spells, so I nuked the monsters. and you know, everyone else did their bit as well. So we finished those off. We had probably, I think it was 4 of the strongest monsters in the game on the board at that time. We didn't have the dragon. That's another adventure mission in the book. But no, we had like a wraith, two ghouls, I think it was, and a gargoyle, which are really hard character. You know, they're 3 experience each, which is probably the highest experience class of monster. You know, all with 2 hits and really high AC. So we did well to finish them off, but you know, we just pretty much nuked them. And I grabbed the token and I ran away. Luckily, I picked up another teleport spell, so me and the cleric teleported to the other end of the dungeon where we started, which was yeah, I think it's the furthest tile is the mechanic. So you teleported over there, which just happened to be like 1 tile away from the exit. So we avoided all the monsters on the way back as well. So it's pretty cool. And we nipped out and won the game. So yeah, great game all in all. Good night, and really enjoyed it. I returned home that evening to find that one of my Twitter follows had sent along a copy of the 2009 Games Workshop Space Hulk box, which I'd bought off of him, and yeah, I can't praise you enough, Soggy Rizzler. Kaz, cheers for that, mate. You packed it up really well, and all the bits apart from the chalice were fine. They're going to need a bit of cleaning up. They've just been cut off the sprue really and assembled, but I'll clean them up. Might even paint them up, and I'll be keeping this one. It's quality through and through. The components are brilliant. I'll actually get it down in a tick actually, and we'll have a little look at the components. But yeah, I've had a quick read of the book. It seems very similar to the old version. So let me just grab it, and I'll be back in a bit. Right, I'm back. Just got the Space Hulk box out in front of me here on my lap, so these are some of the components that you get with it. I don't know if any of you guys have got a copy of this, but they're really nice quality. They're all glossy. Here's one of the blip tokens. Not sure if that will focus, but you can probably see the shine on it. It's really glossy. Just trying to not get the shine. There you go, a little bit better. But they're really thick cardstock. See how thick that is? It's probably well, 3 or 4 mil thick, maybe 5. And all the bits of that sort of thickness. There's well, I've got bags of bits here. I've got these really nice dice actually as well. I might actually snag these for gaming, but they're kind of a bone effect on them. If we can see this, they've got, you know, sort of the marbling streaks through it, and they're the standard dice out of the box. You know, I'm not that much of a dice junkie, but I know when someone's a quality piece. So yeah, I mean, they're just plastic, hard plastic, but you know, very nice for a board game. Right, let's try and get back in the box. Pain in the arse with board games is all the little baggies, but you know, it must be done to keep it all safe. Yes, you got bags of tokens. We've got flamer templates, and we've got flamer templates and Overwatch markers. If you've ever played the old game, it's all, you know, all the same little bits. We've got the familiar doors, but this time in that sort of 4 mil cardboard instead of the old you know, playing card stuff. So they're stand-up doors with the chunky blue plastic stands. They're the blip tokens, loads of those again. Dice. You know, we've got like the old stairs up, stairs down counters. Again, all in the same card. They're really quality. Got the Aquilas and the sort of, I don't know what they are. They're these purple arrows, which are like entry points for the Gene Stealers. And they're really nice. They've got like a purple dark to light fade on them. Quality pieces. Now, what we've got is I paid the guy a little bit extra because he had the battle foam insert. Don't know if you know Battle Foam, the company, but they make foam for your battles, and they are awesome. This is my first bit of battle foam, but I plan on getting some for my Warhammer armies, you know, 40,000, 40k, and Warhammer Fantasy Battle, plus my Malifaux figures, Flames of War figures. They've got a lot of partnerships with all the figure manufacturers apart from Games Workshop. Pretty much everyone else has partnered with them because they are quality. They do the bags and this laser cut foam to go with it, and I'm just looking at the figures here because they're amazing. I'm going to show you some. Right, where's my favourite? Not sure, I haven't really got a favourite to be honest, but they're all, so the Space Marines, Terminators are all in red, and the Gene Stealers are all in blue, sort of, well, blue purple, and there is one of them. I'm sure you've probably seen these if you're at all interested, but they are quality moulds for a board game. You know, they could easily be added to your Space Marine army if you had one, although they do seem to be all painted, sculpted in a Blood Angels sort of style. Just hope you can get the quality of these on this camera. But yeah, so they're all of equal quality. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 Space Marines, plus the little cat thing that had in the old game. I think that used to be a token in the old game. It's a little model now. Here's the chalice. It's the only thing that's broken, and it's tiny though. I mean, basically I can't even. There you go. That's the good side, and the other side, the foot's broken off of it. But you know, it's tiny. They're about £4 each on eBay, so I'll live with that. I might green stuff a little base for it. So here's the Gene Stealers. Now this is the Broodlord. Look at that for a model. I mean, that's amazing. They're all based as well, like they're all crawling over bits of the ship or mounds of skulls, as this one is. He's massive, that guy, the Broodlord. And just random one. There's one with not much of a base, but it's still got some detail on the base there. You know, he's just a regular Gene Stealer that's going to find himself in a fiery grave, no doubt. But yeah, there's other examples here. Look, bits of crawling over bits of conduit. Amazing sculpt, so much action in these. They are awesome. I mean, there's loads and loads of them, and of course with the battle foam, they're all nice and safe, tucked in, moulded. Their own moulded container there. Look, I can flip it right up, and they're all secured nicely in the original box as well. It fits the original box. It's a bit of a squeeze. It fits perfectly as is with the underneath. This is the board components, which I'll get to now. That's just two little trays though. It's not individually moulded or anything like that, because you know, it's not probably not as important as the miniatures. But yeah, it gets a bit of a squeeze because you've got to add all those bags on top or underneath, and then the box doesn't quite sit down properly. But there's like the control panel, which you know, tracks various things in the game for you. Again, same thick cardboard throughout. And there's this might be a bit tricky actually, but there's the two trays of battle foam with all the map pieces in. It's all you know, sort of jigsaw cut, so they all interlock into each other as you build them up. And a little sort of egg timer, hourglass, for the Space Marines turn, because the Space Marines are under pressure. They only get a limited amount of time to make their moves, whereas the Gene Stealers can take their time and just try and swarm them. All the boards are same thick cardboard, all glossy finish, and really nice sort of modern, you know, high resolution artwork on them. The old ones, you know, they looked a bit faded and stuff because of the colours used and stuff, but these are the new ones, all glossy, high def, if you like, you know, high quality. Don't know, try. It's kind of hard because they're so glossy. You get the glare off the light, and you know, the camera's got to focus. But yeah, really nice. I mean, just for corridor sections and rooms and stuff, it's all got like sort of OSL lighting effects and stuff like that. Very nice indeed. So I'm going to put this away now, I think, and I'll get back to the rest of the video. Oh yeah, back again. Right, there's Space Hulk tucked away. Just something that appeared on the doorstep today. Latest copy of Unseen Lurker, issue 9. This is a great magazine. It's sort of satin finish, very nice. Good page count. You know, sort of what we got, about 50 odd pages. Comes out bi-monthly. Created by one of the Warhammer Fantasy Battle Tournament guys, and it's kind of an international wargaming mag, really. But it started off with the Warhammer Fantasy Battle, but it includes War Machine and Hordes and some other stuff as well, sort of fantasy-based stuff, or sort of steampunky. Doesn't get into the historicals at all, you know, more the sort of commercial stuff. I think sort of stuff like Malifaux, maybe Infinity later on and stuff like that. But really, what the guys are playing in the friends scene, if you like, there's quite a few of them that meet up for the UK tournaments and stuff. So not a lot of advertising, which is a very good point. But you know, I suppose they could probably do with a bit more to keep the magazine going. I think they've got a really good fan base though, and I'll have a look at that later on. But yeah, just thought I'd mention that, a little heads up for the Unseen Lurker magazine there. I think it's unseenlurker.com, and Lurker spelled with an E, so there you go. Little free plug there for you, Bobo. But yeah, what else has been going on? I've been trying to paint this Manticore for my Warhammer 40,000 Imperial Guard army. That's the base of it. Then we got this little sort of rocket pod which fits on the back, so it starts to look a bit chunkier, and you sort of add that on, you get that sort of Russian one. And then what I've got, these are still got the masking tape on, but you got these four rockets that go on the back there. Don't know if I can fit that on quickly. No, I won't, because I've just, you know, been painting that shit this morning. So let's keep all of that, behave ourselves, and keep that separate. But yeah, so I'm going to get on with that slowly but surely. A bit of trouble with my paint through the airbrush. I'm going to have to get some proper airbrush paint. I'm fed up trying to thin this Games Workshop paint down to go through the airbrush. It's great for painting with a brush, but not very good for going through an airbrush easily. Anyway, so got oh yeah, if you're airbrushing, get yourself some of these masks. I was having a bit of trouble breathing during the week after, and I realised it was after I'd been spraying. So get yourself some you know, respiration protection there. Just a little 3M mask that I had. I think we got them when my sister was in hospital last year during the swine flu epidemic, and we all had to wear those when we went to visit her. But you can see how dirty it's getting on the little foam insert there. So it's gone all yellowy. That was kind of pretty much white. So yeah, some pretty nasty stuff it's catching while I'm spraying with all these. It's just acrylic paint, which is quite healthy for you, to be honest, unless you drink it. You know, it's water based, but you start thinning it down and spraying it, sort of atomising it into the air, and it gets everywhere, you know, and you don't realise it. Yeah, so clogs all your sinuses up, and it's terrible, especially the next day when you know, you're getting rid of it. Okay, so that's a bit of wargaming news for you, and painting and that sort of hobby. I've just been checking on my homebrew this morning. I woke up and thought, right, what am I going to do today? Because it's miserable outside. It's actually just started tipping down now, and it's the school fete down the road, so they're going to have fun. I think they're doing it in the hall instead. But it's actually teeming down out there. And yeah, so I woke up thinking, oh, what can I do indoors? And I checked on the homebrew. We got a bucket, 25 litres of Perry cider brewing down there, and it's finished. I thought it had finished this weekend, and luckily I was right, because you know, it's looking like I'm going to get something to do. I won't do it till tomorrow though. Sunday's brew day, so we'll do it then. But yeah, it's all stopped brewing now. It's all hit the right levels on the hydrometer tests, i.e. 0, and so it stopped brewing, and yeah, should have 40 pints of Perry cider to drink soon. So it's ready to drink now. Actually, I drank a little bit because Perry doesn't need a secondary fermentation. You leave it for 4 weeks anyway, and it ferments everything out of it. So yeah, it's ready to go. It's a little bit dry, so I'm going to probably sweeten it up a little bit, or you can sweeten it up any time you like. So best thing to do is bottle it up, sweeten one up a little bit, and give it a go. If it's not much good, sweeten up the next one a little bit more, you know, and you get your own taste. I like a dry cider, so I won't put too much sweetener in it. It's just sugar. Just add sugar to it and sweeten it up. But you know, other people have different tastes, so you know, it's homebrew. You just add a bit of sugar to it. You know, it's like your tea. Just add 1 spoon or 2. But yeah, so that should be fun, and that leaves the bucket of brewing, as I'm naming it, freed up to brew my next kit, which is Docklands Porter from Muntons. It's one of their gold range porters, and I've got a couple of pics on Twitter. I'm at Chinger Spy, by the way, at CHINGERSPY on Twitter. I post up there, yeah, fairly often, but it's usually hobby related, sort of thing. So, well, yeah, I'll hopefully have a pint of porter in about, you know, a month and a bit's time. So that'll be a nice little drink to have. Still got loads of IPA to drink and loads of bitter to drink. You know, the age-old bitter. But now I've got and cider to drink. Trouble is, brewing's quite addictive, but drinking, I don't find a lot of time for it. So it might sound like I'm an alky brewing all this beer. It's all sat in the garage waiting to be drunk at some point or another. We'll have to have a big party and leave it on the table for people to have. But yeah, so it's addictive brewing, and I love brewing. I find it amazing. But yeah, drinking is another matter. Unfortunately, I wish I had the time or the capacity or the laissez-faire attitude to just drink all the time, but hey ho, I don't, and you know, I don't particularly like the headaches in the morning anyway. So yeah, brewing, great hobby. Just if you want to drink it, you got to probably be a man of leisure. What else has been going on? I think it's probably time to go into. Don't know really. I think that's it really. I think that's my a week in hobby, gaming, brewing, painting. You know, you name it. I've been doing it this week, and been back at work this week, unfortunately. So not a lot of time for most of the things I enjoy. Yeah. So oh yeah, computer games. Picked up the. What did I pick up? Picked up the Kill Team, Space Marine Kill Team, I think it's called, on the Xbox 360. It's an arcade title, so you just, you know, pay your credits and download it. It's about £7 in English. I think it's 800 credits, or 850 credits, something like that. It's about £7-ish. Yeah, really good. It's. I wish it was more like Alien Breed, you know, that sort of top-down shooter. Basically, use one analog stick to move, the other analog stick to direct your fire. but this game is more sideways scrolling. Yeah, it's all 3D and nice, and really atmospheric and stuff. But it's not a top-down map game where you run around, a la Gauntlet style game. Alien Breed, obviously in 3D terms, Team 17 did a really good job with Alien Breed. But yeah, I thought it'd be more like that, but it's more sideways shooter, move along, it scrolls, and you can't go back until it wants you to go back. But yeah, it's good fun. It's a shooter. It's £7. I've spent probably a couple of hours on it. Each mission seems to be about an hour long. Done two missions so far. I haven't had a chance to play it since the first night there. But yeah, it's got the popular chapters. I think it's Salamanders, Blood Ravens, which is THQ's Relic's own chapter. The Blood Angels, stuff like that. The popular ones. You can, I can't really remember what things you can play. You can play like a captain, with sort of power sword and bolter. You can play a heavy bolter guy, which is the guy I've been running around with. A librarian, which would be sort of magic, and I can't really remember the others. I think there might be a flamer guy or a plasma cannon guy. I might be completely wrong there, but yeah, yeah, pretty good game for £7. Pick it up if you're at all interested in Space Marines. THQ Relic partnership up with Games Workshop is a very, very good partnership. They're staying pretty true to the original fluff and characterizations and stuff like that. So really good, and it's sort of a precursor to Space Marine, which is coming out soon, which will probably be more like the Alien Breed style game, I believe. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed that that's really good. So I'll pick it up on the 360 when it comes out, I think. So yeah, that's video games. I finally played Cities XL last night. And 2011 version, that is, sorry, and yeah, it's really good. It's just SimCity really, but bit more to it than that really. You set up zones rather than individual blocks of housing, so you set up zones where housing goes, sort of unskilled worker houses, skilled worker houses, offices or industry, sort of manufacturing and factories or parks and stuff like that. It's all zonal based. That's pretty good actually. I was really doing well actually. I was getting loads of achievements and stuff, and then it all went wrong. I don't know where it went wrong. I think I cut the taxes to help industry, and started losing lots of money, and then everyone went bankrupt. So I'll a town mayor I do not make, apparently, but I'll give it another go and try and learn the tricks of it. Yeah, very good. I enjoyed that, and I spent ages on it. It's one of those, it just sinks you in. I put the telly on, I think watched the latest episode of Dexter, and just sat down and watched that and played the game and put a couple of other things on the telly while I was playing along. Yeah, so good all in all. So I think that about wraps up my week in hobby and stuff. So I'll let you get on with your lives, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers. Bye bye.